welcome back to Clean with Kate. And this evening, it's Sunday evening and I'm in the conservatory. So I thought you might like to join me. Sinead has asked me to do a video about the geraniums and just talk about how I propagate them, what I feed them and how I overwinter them, because she's starting her own collection of geraniums. And you can see they need a little bit of TLC. I'm going to give them a water and a feed today, and I'm going to show you what I feed them. I'm going to do some deadheading, and I'll talk about all those things while I'm doing the work. Here are some that I've propagated. Here are some that I've propagated this year. And then, in fact, over here, I've been propagating this one. This is quite an unusual, rare variety, so I'm keen to get more of those. Anyway, I think I'll put the camera harness on and then we'll get going, because I'm on quite a tight schedule this evening. I've got a Zoom in about 15 minutes, so I've set a timer for 15 minutes, so I must get on with it. Oh, good news. This one's come back into flower. I've been waiting for this to come back in flower. Isn't it gorgeous? And I'm going to do a little bit of tidying up, and if I get a chance, I'll brush the floor as well. I've got a bottle of water with me, and I've got my sunglasses because it's quite sunny in here. Anyway, shall we get going? I'll just pause while I put the harness on. Okay, that's better. I'm going to put my sunglasses on, and I'm going to put on my gardening gloves because I'm going to be using the snips, and they are sharp, so I don't want to get hurt my fingers. I've also got a wooden spoon, which you might wonder what the wooden spoon's for, but you'll see at the end of the video. Anyway, I'm probably going to start. What am I going to start with? I'm going to start with a bit of a tidy up. Put a bit of deadheading, and then I'll probably sweep the floor, and then I'll feed and water. And I might just have a drink. Actually, I might just have a drink of my water first. It's thirsty work. It's too warm in here because it's really sunny now. It was raining earlier, but it's sunny now. We've had a lovely day today. We went to a local antiques fair at Hayden, and it was really nice. We went early and oh my goodness, it was wonderful. The weather was wonderful. We took the puppies. Anyway, I'm going to start with a little bit of deadheading, and we'll talk about propagation. Okay, so what I do is if I want to propagate the geranium, I literally just take cuttings off them. There's no particular fancy way of doing it. You just cut a decent bit of greenery off. So, for example, if I wanted to take a cutting of this one, I hope you can see, I just take it down there, and then literally I just have a pot full of compost and pop it in the compost. It's really, really easy. And then just keep that compost sort of damp. I usually do it in spring, late spring or early summer, and then keep it damp, and they just root in. They're really, really easy to propagate. And as you can see, these are all cuttings that have been just stuck in there, and they're doing ever so well. Right, I'm just checking for more dead heads that need taking off. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this? I think the geranium on there is okay. But golly, I need to tidy everything else up. The other plant, I think, has almost died. Sorry, you're getting a lovely view of my knees again. Apologies. There we go. I think that actually is better without it, because the plant had dried out. I think I'm going to move this one into the sun. It might do better. Geraniums do like the sun. And that other plant actually doesn't really like full sun. So it's a bit of a tricky one. That's why it's probably dehydrated. It was probably in full sun at some point and it dried out. Right, I need to get this into a better position as well. This is dried out. This is one of the cuttings I did earlier in the year. But it's looking a little dehydrated. I think it must have dried out, because it has been quite hot the last couple of weeks. And actually, I probably haven't watered the conservatory this week. I don't know, I think it might be a week since I've watered the conservatory, so it's showing. I'll just pop some water on that, I think, because I think that's quite urgent. Let's just pop a little bit of water in it. I just use potting compost. So I've got a multi-purpose potting compost down there. So when we're propagating the geraniums, we use the multi-purpose compost. And that way, you could use compost from your garden, but if you use a commercial compost, it just means you're not introducing any seeds or weeds into it. The problem with my compost in the garden is it's quite often, I think I might have lost this geranium, but you know what? I'm going to give it a little bit of a prune. Well, that is green. It could come back to life. It's not looking very hopeful at the moment. There's a tiny bit of green still on it. I think that was a casualty of me maybe, I don't know, being overly vigorous, pruning it. But this one that I thought I'd been over vigorous with does appear to be coming back to life, which is good news. They are pretty tough, but occasionally you will lose one. Right, I'm just looking for the deadheads. Oh, there's a spider there. Well, I don't really want too many spiders in the conservatory because the risk is that I get bitten by them. And although they're not usually particularly nasty, we do have some venomous spiders in Norfolk. I think we have one called the false widow. I'm not sure if that is one of them. Hopefully not. Have to be a bit careful. It's good for keeping the flies down. Whoops. Just a bit wary of leaning over it and getting a spider on me. I might let Mike do those ones at the back. He's much tougher than me. If I get bitten, usually I come up in a big lump. He doesn't seem to react to insect bites the same as I do. Has it gone back up? Oh, it is. It's going back up its web frantically. I don't know if you can see. Probably can't see it on the thing, but its web is right down. I'll try not to move too quickly. Apologies. I think it's because I know I'm on a tight schedule tonight. Mike's cooking dinner. We're having roast beef. Oh, roast beef, roast potatoes, roast vegetables. Most of them out of the garden as well, which is good. Certainly the potatoes are out of the garden. We've got green beans in abundance at the moment. Oh, I do need to take you on a garden tour. There's been some very interesting developments in the garden and also in the barns. I had a friend visiting her, was it last week? And she's a really good old friend and she's really good at motivating me to move my projects forward. And so since her visit, we've in anticipation of her visit, we've moved things forward. And then actually, since she's gone, we've been very, very, very proactive. In fact, I need to invite her to come for another stay because she always motivates me. She's just one of those friends that just motivates you. I love that. I love that about her. She's very good at getting things done. Right, what else is in here? That one. Should have brought the bucket a bit closer to myself. I'm making this very difficult for myself. So I say, first I'm going to deadhead and then I'm going to sweep the floor if I've got time. Please let me have enough time. Should have brought a visible timer in really, shouldn't I? I don't know where all my timers have disappeared to. They have a habit of disappearing. I don't think Mike's taken them. Mike's not really into timers. I use timers for everything. I was telling another friend recently about my love of timers. And I think it may be because I've used them probably for over ever since I discovered Fly Lady. I've used timers now for over 25 years for just about everything. To get myself started on things or to stop myself hyper-focusing. I just find them a really useful tool for getting tasks done or for working on things. So I use Pomodoro timers. I love a 15-minute timer. I love a 5-minute timer. Golly, those geraniums are dry. I wonder if I could amalgamate these two and then I could empty one of them. There's no need to have two of them full, is there? Oh, it's a bit mucky in the bottom of that. Oh, do you know that's already turning to compost? Incredible. Right, so I've got too many pots out here. I could do with putting a little shelf in here. Actually, that's a really good idea. I could put a little shelf there and then put my pots that I'm not using on it. Or I need to declutter my cupboard. This cupboard has a lot in it. Golly, that would make a good video. Decluttering my huge cupboard. Because this cupboard is full of all sorts. Absolutely all sorts. What do you have a guess what is in my cupboard? See if you can guess. What do I keep in the conservatory cupboard? Have I ever shown you in the conservatory cupboard? I'm not sure I have. Right. Okay, I think that's enough deadheading. It's looking a lot better. And if I don't stop deadheading, I'm not going to get the other task done, am I? Right, I think that's better than it was. It's a lot better than it was. Okay, let's put the secateurs away where I know where they are. And the next task is to brush the conservatory. Let's start under here. I should have probably cleaned the floor a bit more. I still haven't potted up that succulent. And my brain is starting to spiral. Why am I procrastinating on potting up the succulents? It's really strange. It's not even a big job. All I've got to do is get some compost out of the bag and do it. Anyway, thank you, Sinead, for the suggestion for the video. It's a really lovely idea. And I'm happy to share my geranium growing tips because I absolutely love my geraniums. They bring me so much joy. And it's lovely to know that you're thinking of keeping geraniums as well. In winter, if there's any chance of frost, you'll need to bring them in. Then it depends what country you live in. But in the UK, geraniums are not hard in winter. I can leave some out in the garden because I do have some in pots in the garden. I haven't put as many out this year. And I have them in the cottage garden in pots. But they're not hardy. If I left them out all winter, unless we had the mildest winter ever, they would all die. So I bring them in usually around October. If you leave it later than that, the risk is you'll get hard frost and they'll die. Ooh, because they are a Mediterranean plant. Golly, I've just managed to knock water everywhere. Good job I've got my old trainers on. Let's just pop these watering cans out of the way a little bit. Although I will want to use them in a minute. I just want to get under here. I've got something really interesting to show you under here. These are my paper whites. They've started to drop their leaves. In fact, I might be able to take them out now. Pretty much. Their leaves have died back. These are paper whites that I had a couple of years ago, and they didn't flower this year. They just put on green. But I'm really hopeful. I've been feeding them, so I'm really hopeful that they will flower next year. But we'll have to wait and see. Right, that will be something to look forward to maybe next spring. Or Christmas even, actually. It'd be Christmas. I'm really hoping I can get them into flower for Christmas. That would be wonderful. But you know what? I probably will have to start feeding them. I mustn't... yeah, when you start... Well, do you know? Have you ever... I've not actually yet managed to get my paper whites back into flower. I always used to. Don't laugh. But I always used to plant them in the garden. Because I didn't know that they weren't hardy. But they're not hardy. They need to be kept in a greenhouse or a conservatory over winter, or maybe even in the house. That might be what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's not, because our conservatory is not warm in winter. It's frost. We try and keep it frost free. So we have a little frost radiator in here, so it comes on if there's a frost. One year we forgot to put it in. We had horrendously hard frost, and we lost a huge number of our geraniums to the frost, which was really sad. I need to have a bit of a tidy up on the table too, don't I? Right, I've got a dustpan and brush. Let's do the table first. And then I'll get this lot up off the floor. Right, there we go. Pop it back in there. I think that is probably enough sweeping. Oh my goodness, my time is going. My Zoom is about to start. Right, I'm just going to show you what I feed the plants. I'll probably have to come back and feed them later, but I'm going to show you just so you know. And this is where this comes in. This old wooden spoon has got a chip out of it, so it's perfect for adding a bit of food. Because we get this out of a water butt, it's quite awkward to put the feed in. Whoops, is there any? So I'm just putting a little bit of tomato feed. We've diluted it down, so it's quite a dilute tomato feed because the plants are quite dry. Let's pop it in each one. So I'm just literally putting a very small amount in. And you know, you don't have to buy anything fancy for geraniums. They love tomato food. As long as it's nice and dilute. You don't want it too concentrated. I'm just putting a little bit in each can. And this will keep them flowering. So I don't put it in every week. And you can see they flower really well. They like it tough. So this is what the spoon's for. Just give it a mix. Woo! Try not to spill it everywhere like I'm doing. It would have been more sensible to do this outside, really. let's do these. I don't know if I put it, I think I did put it in all of them, didn't I? And I'll just leave that now. And I'll pop back later and then I'll feed them. What's the one that was really dry that I needed to do? I think there was. Which one was it? Whew. I think it was one of these, wasn't it? I think the cuttings ones were looking really dry. So I'm going to give the cuttings, because they are really susceptible to drying out, I'm going to give them a water. And that one, I think that's really dry. It's a big plant in there. And that one is the one that I've only got one of. Do you know what? For now, oh, that's pretty dry. I think that might be cuttings in there as well. I know, I saw one more that's really dry. So I'll start them off. I've got one watering can done. And there's one over here that's really, oh my goodness, so dry. They could really do with going out. They're in really big pots, but they're still drying out. Because they've got really, oh, and this one, this is my favourite one here. I don't want that to dry out. Ah, God, it's like weightlifting this. Right, okay. I'm going to take a break because I've got to go on a Zoom now. Well, it's a fun Zoom. It's a Zoom with friends. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope that you found that helpful and informative. And thank you, Sinead. Any questions at all about the geraniums, pop it in the comments. Anyway, bye for now.